Hola, and welcome to the Sacred Brand Mastery Podcast, a place for women who want to align their passion and purpose with profitability. I'm your host, Vicky Ayala, a quirky brand strategist and visual storyteller who helps you navigate the entrepreneurial journey with a dose of creativity and a sprinkle of magic. If you're like me, then you have multiple passions, and you don't want to pick just one. So don't. Who you are is your competitive edge. So let's work on getting you the clarity, confidence, and courage that helps you to manage your workflow, organize your creative genius, and monetize your expertise so you can do what you love from anywhere with passion and for profit. What is a bankable brand? I get this question a lot. In Hollywood, they use the word bankable to describe an actor or actress who can bring in the big bucks. A-list celebrities are considered bankable, for the most part. However, there will always be the occasional box office bomb. Let's look at a few. Red Planet, starring Val Kilmer, back in 2000 had a budget of $80 million. The domestic gross was approximately $18 million. The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro, back in 2010 had a budget of $150 million. It grossed 62 domestically. The Nutcracker in 3D had a budget of $90 million and only grossed a little under $200K domestically. Dudley Do-Right with the bankable Brendan Fraser at the height of his career had a budget of $70 million and only grossed $10 million domestically. Now it's a given that no matter how bankable an actor is, they're going to have a box office dud. Movies tank at the box office for a number of reasons. Bad timing, poor reviews, unrealistic expectations, you name it. Then there are those indie darlings that are cheap to make, cheap to buy for distribution, and yet they find box office success. Many amazing films didn't have a bankable actor attached. What they did have was enough heart and soul to connect with an audience. Some examples include The Blair Witch Project. Now, some say it cost them about $20K to make, while others say it was much more. So let's be generous and say it cost $1 million, even low by indie standards. The movie grossed $248 million in the box office, not to mention the imprint it left on all of us. There was also Little Miss Sunshine, a really cute indie film that had a modest budget of $8 million and grossed $100 million. It always comes down to the story. Mediocre acting can be overlooked for a story that really resonates with you. One only needs to look at season 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones to see how killer acting skills and amazing production can make up for shitty writing. So let's go back to the word bankable. Bankable, when broken down to its parts, is simply the ability to bank, or rather the capability to monetize. So when we look at your bankable brand, what is your imprint that we're looking to monetize? I intermix bankable brand with bankable hustle. Both focus on what you're willing to leverage as a business. A bankable brand is not about selling yourself. It's about finding that thing you do, that spark that lights you up, and creating a strategy that helps you take your inner magic and leverage it for profitability. Your title is just a framework to describe your brand. Your brand is the experience you give others when you're not in the room. You can be a graphic designer, wellness coach, spiritual advisor, media personality. Those are your titles. Your bankable brand is how well you connect with the people who are looking for your talents and skills. Your bankable hustle is how you monetize your expertise. See the difference? I'm resisting the urge to create an acronym, so let's look at your online presence. What is the domain name you're using? Because people usually do one of two things. They get their name URL, or they get a catchy business name. Sometimes they do both. When you look at your name online, especially if you have both a personal name and a business name, ask yourself, what's the bankable name? Like A-list celebrities, when you show up, your name carries weight. Now, the heavyweights in your industry are clearly in the highly bankable bracket. They show up and easily monetize their brand simply from name recognition. They pre-sell books, teach courses, host events, create products, land endorsement deals, you name it. They have the audience who supports them and the customers willing to spend money. The B-list celebrities have some clout, but not as much. They have the same loyalty from their peeps, but it's not at the same level as an A-lister. They usually get second billing on a blockbuster film, or they'll shine on the indie circuit, usually because they're not getting top billing on the big screen. Moving down the line, we get to the C-list celebrities. They might have a sizable audience, but they struggle with converting those eyeballs into sales. They have some name recognition, but they're nowhere near the bankability as those at the top of their industry. Now, I'm a Pisces. Escapism is my thing, so I gravitate towards the entertainment industry. Funny enough, there are many teachable moments in that industry, and branding is definitely one of them. So how bankable are you? When you show up, online and in the real world, where would you rank yourself? A-list, B-list, or C-list? Don't compare yourself to everyone in your industry. We all have our competitive edge. And the more specific you get with yours, the easier it's going to be for you to move up towards the A-list in whatever field you want to succeed in. Create your lane and own it. So when you do show up, you're the only one who can deliver whatever it is that you are offering. Because the reality is, as much as you are one in a million and you totally are one of a kind, you are also one of a million. When creating a bankable brand, you have to factor all of this in. So how are you positioning yourself to be A-list? How are you converting an audience into sales? How are you monetizing your expertise? How are you leveraging your magic to help create profit opportunities? There's no one way to do this. We all tend to gravitate towards whatever is of least resistance. So start there. What's easy for you? And how are you incorporating this into your brand? A-list actors stick to what they know. That's why they tend to work with the same directors and take on the same roles. It's not a coincidence. It's by design. So use this insight to design your success. Use this conversation to design your bankability. Until next time.